are Camby-McCaskill, author of Fallow and Her Keepers, and today I'm here in Asheville, North Carolina at the Esther Neonatal Kitten Alliance. And I'm here with Andee Bingham, and she is the executive director. And we're going to learn a bit about the kittens and the cats here today. So tell me how Esther Neonatal Kitten Alliance got started.
Yeah, so I've been working in animal welfare for about a decade, and I've been in Asheville for about 6 years. And when I came to Asheville, it was the first time since working with animals that I've lived in the South, and I really saw how big of a problem it was that there were so many orphaned newborn kittens, because down here in the South, there's the culture around spaying and neutering is different, and there's a lot more outdoor cats than there are in the North where I was previously. So I had bottle fed before, but I started bottle feeding a lot more when I moved down here. And when I left my previous job, I was, thinking about what my next step was, and just started thinking that, what this town and kind of region in general needed was an organization that really focused on these neonates and to provide the support and education that other organizations needed in order to provide great care to them as well. So we started 2 years ago in 2019.
And who is Esther?
So Esther was a special kitten. She was one of the first kittens that I bottle fed when I first started bottle feeding down here, and she was a special needs kitten. She had some medical issues, and I wasn't super experienced at that time, so I teamed up with another foster who had more experience, and she kind of mentored me. And so when I was starting this organization, I was thinking about who we could kind of memorialize with the organization, and Esther was a really perfect kitten because she really kind of exemplified, learning all you can to save a kitten and learning all the new skills, and also just, teaming up with people who can, help save a kitten. So she was just kind of embodies what we want this organization to be.
Who have you partnered up with?
So we partner with over a dozen organizations throughout the region. We partner with several organizations around town. We do focus a bit more on organizations that are in communities where they just don't really have as many resources. So in Asheville, we actually have several organizations that do a really good job with neonates. So this isn't our main focus, but we take a lot of kittens from Henderson County, Rutherford County, Marion. We take kittens from out near Charlotte. We take a lot of kittens from South Carolina. You'll meet some of those today. And pretty much we just partner with any organization who either just feels like they don't have the capacity to care for kittens, but we also, if the organization has the capacity to, take on kittens if they have the training and the supplies and other resources, then we do what we can to help them, slowly build their own neonate programs.
So currently, right now, how many kittens do you have in your care?
So right now we have about 70 kittens in our care, and we're almost at 400 for the year.
Wow. And
we anticipated taking in about 250 for the year, and because of the lack of spay-neuter last year, this kitten season has been like nothing we've seen in a long time. So we had to really stretch ourselves to take in more than we had anticipated, and now by the end of the season, we will likely hit 400.
What is your busiest season?
So generally so my organization almost always only takes in kittens who are unweaned, so generally about 4 weeks and under is what we focus on. Occasionally we'll take in pregnant or nursing moms, or kittens who are a little bit older who have bigger health issues, but primarily the kittens that we focus on are born and found in the warmer months. So we'll start getting we'll start seeing kittens always, but we'll start seeing a bigger flood of them come spring. So around March or April, we'll start seeing a large amount of kittens coming. And then normally once it starts getting cold, sometime around October, it'll taper out a little bit.
So take me through the process. When a kitten comes into your care, what happens?
Mm-hmm. So when a kitten shows up, the first thing we're going to do is if the kittens, if we know they haven't eaten in a long time, what we'll do is we'll first make sure that they're warm, because you don't want to feed kittens who are cold. They can't really digest it. So we'll make sure they're nice and warm, then we'll feed them. That usually settles them down a bit. And then we'll do a full assessment. So we do a real nose to tail assessment on every kitten. We'll check for fleas. We'll check and make sure they don't have any wounds. We'll check their eyes, see if they're infected. We'll check their basic body composition to see if they might be emaciated or if they're nice and fat. We'll keep an eye and see if they have any diarrhea, kind of anything like that. If they're over 2 weeks old, we'll start deworming them. If they're more than a pound, we'll start vaccinating them. And we pretty much we have a whole process we go through where we really check every aspect of the kitten so that we already know going into what kind of extra care that kitten might need. But most of the kittens we take in are under 2 weeks old, so they need to be bottle fed every 2 or 3 hours around the clock. We take in a decent amount of preemies who sometimes need to be fed every hour, hour and a half. We take in almost half of the kittens we've taken in this year have been critically injured or ill, so they might require tube feeding, different treatments for injuries or illnesses. So we take in a lot of really labor-intensive kittens.
Now, is it hard to bottle feed a kitten?
It can be a little bit of a challenge to learn it at first. There's a little bit of a learning curve, but as long as the kitten's latching well, it's fairly easy. If you want to give it a shot today, we can make that happen. But it takes a minute to kind of learn how to hold the bottle right. But once you get the hang of it, it's pretty easy as long as the kitten is wanting to eat.
Mm-hmm. Is that something you would teach volunteers or?
Yeah, we are eager to teach everybody who wants to learn. We definitely believe that the key to making sure that as many neonates as possible survive and thrive is to teach absolutely everybody who is even remotely interested. We'll provide all the supplies, all the training, everything if you want to help kittens.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Now, once they're fed and they're strong, what happens to them when they grow up?
So we generally keep kittens in our nursery until we know that they're stable. They live in incubators here. Once they're stable, we send them to foster homes. Once the kittens are old enough to be spayed and neutered and are fully vaccinated, fully healthy, then we adopt them out.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to be getting a kitten. Now, generally, how much does it take per month to care for all the kittens, for the vet visits, for the emergency vet care, or anything that comes up?
Yeah, we spend about $10,000 a month between, everything that keeps this nursery going, which is a really critical component because we're able to provide most of our medical care in-house. We have the incubators, we have the ability to provide supplemented oxygen, nebulizers, tube feeding, all that stuff here. So between keeping this nursery going, providing medical care, whether that's basic care or emergency care, providing food and litter and all that stuff, we spend about $10,000 a month.
Okay. Where could the viewers go to donate?
So on our website, which is kittenalliance.org, we have a donation button up there. We also have a Facebook page that can be donated through, and we also have an Amazon wish list, which you can find a link through on our website, and if you want to just directly send supplies to us.
Okay. And you do accept volunteers?
Oh yes, we love volunteers, we love fosters. On our website there's also buttons to sign up to be a volunteer or foster. There's also a button to sign up if you just want to tour the nursery. You can come
So
and just...
you are open to the public?
We are. At this point, because the season's winding down, we're always going to have bigger kittens here that are ready for adoption, but whether we'll have really tiny ones is going to be a little hit or miss until spring, but we're always eager to talk to anybody who is excited about kittens.
Oh boy.
Thank you.